So far, so good, I want to say. I'm quite scared actually. Why do I still have that prompt in here? I don't go to my library. This is not how I thought this month was gonna go. It's being mean to me. That literally shot me in the bum. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome if you're new. I hope you're all doing well and welcome back to my October TBR video. Let's just put it out there, I didn't do very well with my September TBR because I was on holiday in Walt Disney World for 2 weeks. Those vlogs have started if you're interested in watching daily vlogs from mine and Mark's trip to Walt Disney World. I'll leave the playlist down below for you guys. But if you're here for bookish content, that is bookish content that I'm going to provide for you today because we are back with my favourite video to film, and that is my TBR video. And I'm just excited for a fresh start, clean slate, and just kind of like forget what happened in September and just kind of like go in to the official first month of like autumn, fall, and just kind of like see what the TBR gods have in store for me. Because if you aren't aware, yes, I do the classic pull prompts out of a TBR jar, but to spice things up and make it a little bit more fun, I also combine that with a spinner wheel. And if you see my last 2 months, then you know what kind of chaos the spinner wheel can kind of produce for me, but also it can be very kind. So we just got to see what today has in store for me. But the spinner wheel basically gives us lots of different variations to what we do with these prompts that I pull out. So they can be standard prompts, which means I don't do anything with them. 2 prompts out of here and double them up to create 1 book, or I have to pull 2 prompts from here and pick 2 separate books, or it's a free pass, or it's a free pick. Any of the fun little shenanigans that we have on this spinner wheel can dictate what I do with these said prompts. So without further ado, I guess that's all the housekeeping, so let's hop in to the first spin slash pull. Spin number 1 for my October TBR. Is it going to be like nice to me or mean to me this month? Because I feel like the first spin is always a good indication. Standard. Okay, hopefully it's going to be nice to me this month then. I don't have really any kind of idea of what I want to get onto my TBR, so I'm kind of just really going with the flow this month. There are a lot of books on my Kindle that I want to get to. There are a lot of new books that I've recently added to my physical TBR that I want to get to. So yeah, let's just see what we get. I have some kind of like seasonal books, and there are some definitely books on my kind of like Kindle and TBR, physical TBR, are going to be more well suited to the kind of like autumn months. But I still read romance in autumn, I still read romance in winter, I still read romance in spring. I just read a hell of a lot more of romance in the summer. Romance is my go-to genre, so I don't ever spend too long away from that genre, even if the season doesn't dictate that kind of being the main genre. I'm not really that much of a genre seasonal person, but I do try and navigate ever so slightly towards the more kind of like heavier romances, or the more just like woman's chick lit literary fiction sort of books. So we'll see what we have going on for the first prompt. I think I've just bought myself. I think it says person on the cover. Am I right? Yeah, person on cover. That gives us a lot of variety, to be fair. It's just kind of like, what am I really in the mood to read? Because that's where we're kind of like gonna find it quite tricky this month, because I don't really have any sort of like idea of what I want to read. There's a few, but there aren't too many. If the book that I'm thinking of has a person on the cover, I'm gonna go for that one, and it will be on my Kindle. Yeah, okay. The first book I'm going to put on my October TBR is going to be The Ex-Hex by Erin Sterling. I have this as Kindle Unlimited on my Kindle. It has 2 people on the cover riding a broomstick. This is very much like a witchy romance, I believe. I don't actually know too much about it. I just know that everyone was reading it last October, autumn time, Halloween time, and people seem to really enjoy it. So in terms of like what it's about, I don't actually know. Vivian Jones handled the biggest breakup of her life the way that any witch would. Vodka, bubble baths, and a curse on her ex. That was 9 years ago. Now Reese Penhallow, descendant of the town's founders, breaker of hearts and still irritatingly gorgeous, is back. Reese has returned to the quaint town of Graves Glen to recharge the ley lines and make an appearance at the annual Fall Festival. Okay, this is perfect. But when his every move results in calamity, Vivi really realises that her ex might not have been so harmless after all, as the curse starts to affect the magic of the town, resulting in murderous wind-up toys, an outraged ghost, and a surprisingly talkative cat. Vivi and Reese must put their personal feelings aside and work together to break the curse and save not just the town, but also Reese's life. Okay. Sounds interesting. The first bit definitely kind of grasped my attention more so than like the second half, but Fall Festival, witchy vibes, some sort of like enemies to lovers sort of situation going on, so hey, I'm gonna try it, give it a go and see what I think. So that's the first book on my October TBR. So far, so good, I want to say. So let's go for the second spin and see what the prompt is going to be. I kind of want some like challenges this month. 2 books for the same prompt, okay. I've never had this one before, so I don't actually know how well it's going to work, but hopefully it will work okay. I'm quite scared actually. Never had this one before, so I've got to pick one prompt and then pick 2 separate books for that one prompt. So already, because I only do usually 6 spins or 6 balls, that's already adding to my kind of like TBR pile of 7 books for this month. So I'm going to go for, I've got to have 3 in my hand. I'm just going to go again, that was too chaotic. I'm going to go for this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. Ooh, I'm scared. I'm scared. Okay, you guys can see it first because I'm scared. I'm actually terrified of what this one's actually going to be. What does that say? Library book. 2 library books? I haven't used my library app in a very long time. Why do I still have that prompt in here? I don't go to my library. 2 books for the same prompt. 2 library books? Oh, I'm gonna go to my Libby app because realistically I'm not gonna go to my library physically and look at them. So let's just see what I have saved on my library app from a very long time ago. I'll screen record so we can kind of like go through it together and see if there's any on there that I'm kind of like wanting to read. So I do go on there like every so often and just kind of like tag books that have like been added to the Libby app to see kind of like if I want to read any. So we've got Blue Sisters by Coco Mellors, which is definitely a book that I want to read, but I can see that it's on a wait list at the minute. Maybe I'll just go to available now. Yeah, that'll be easier. So available now, we have The Philosophy of Love, seems very summery. The Spare Room, very summery. Pineapple Street, I have heard good things about that one, but not like anything that I like desperately I want to read that right now. And I've got to pick 2 of these. Look out for The Little Guy, which is like an Ant-Man book. The Black Kids, The Other Black Girl, Running Wild, The Last Thing He Told Me, The Last Housewife, Wild at Heart, The Cruel Prince, All Your Twisted Secrets, Nothing to See Here, The Crazy Cat Society, Something Good, The Garrett Sisters, I Like Me Better, The Romance Recipe, The Very Nice Girl, The Gleaning, Someone Like You, So This Is Holiday, One Night in Edinburgh, The Arctic Curry Club, Home Sweet Christmas, A Woman Is No Man. None of these are like calling out to me. You know what? The Last Housewife is definitely a book that I think it's the one that Chloe gave 5 stars. It's definitely like a thriller. While in college in upstate New York, Shay Evans and her best friends met a captivating man who seduced them with a web of lies about the way the world works, bringing them under his thrall. By senior year, Shay and her friend Laurel were the only ones who managed to escape. Now 8 years later, Shay builds a new life in Tony, Texas suburb. But when she hears the horrifying news of Laurel's death, delivered of all the ways by her favourite true crime podcast, she begins to suspect that the past she thought she buried is very much still alive and the predator is more dangerous than ever. Okay, that sounds quite interesting. The Last Housewife. Okay, is that going on my TBR? Oh god. I'm going to put The Last Housewife by Ashley Winstead on my TBR. This is not how I thought this month was going to go. It's being mean to me. And then I'm just going to have a look because Running Wild by K.A. Tucker is in the library, so I feel like The Simple Wild must be. No, it's not. They got the second one and the 4th one, but not the first and the 3rd. That makes no sense in my personal opinion. So we're just going to go to date added and see if there's anything new that piques my interest, which I don't think there will be. Not going to lie. Oh, this is really tricky. No, I'm just not really... Right, go back to my want to read. I'm only just getting back into reading after being on my holiday, so I don't think anything too intense is like the way I should go. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with myself. I don't know, Son of Achilles. A Little Life. You Belong With Me. I read one of Mari McFarlane's books before and I wasn't a lover of it. Carrie Soto's Back could be an option. Okay, that's like the other kind of like one I could potentially read. Never Died read The Last Library. Never heard of it. Sounds cute though, the cover's cute. Anxious People I could always reread. Ooh. I did want to reread that book at some point this year. I do have a physical copy of it. Does that count? I'm technically getting my idea from the library. Ruthless Vows. I am going to go with Carrie Soto Is Back. Should I? Okay, yeah, why not? Because otherwise we're going to be here. I've been filming for 18 minutes already. Holy moly. Hopefully I can cut that down. Okay, my two, that literally shot me in the bum. My two library books are going to be Carrie Soto's Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid and The Last Housewife. The Lost Housewife? I can't even remember the name of it. The Last Housewife by Ashley Winstead. Okay, was not expecting that, and am I excited for either of them? No, not really, but could they be 5 stars? Potentially. Every book I read could have the potential to be 5 stars. So let's move not so swiftly on to spin number 3, and please can you be better to me this time? And if you give me another spin, I think I actually might just cancel this video. What is it? Standard? Free pick. Oh, thank fuck for that. Okay, you've awarded me something. My free pick. What am I gonna read? God. What am I gonna read? It's autumn, but what books am I kind of wanting to read right now? I'm going back to my Kindle. Yeah, why not? What books are like shouting my name at the minute? You know what? My Kindle's restarting. Oh my god, this video is not going to plan. Okay. What books do I really want to read at the minute? Free pick. You know what? To be nice to myself, I think I actually might. Which is the first one? I think Next to You is the first one, and Next of Kin is the second one in the series. So this is Hanning Bowen Young. I read Out on a Limb in September when I got back from holiday and absolutely fell in love with it. 5 stars, absolutely incredible. So when I saw this one or this one in the works, I brought the other one off Amazon, so I had both of them because this is her like spin-off, not spin-off, but like it's her other series, or Joe-wology, following a different character, set of characters, different world, etc. So I think Next to You is the first one. I'm going to put Next to You on my TBR, and that's the first physical book on my TBR for the month of October, and it's not very autumnal at all, but I'm being nice to myself. So let's go with spin number 4, but my 5th book. Yay! Oh god. Like, I still want it to be not so nice to me, but not like standard. Standard, that's fine. We can do another standard. Okay, so I just want to recap for myself. The first book we got on was A Person on the Cover, which I've got the X hex for, which is fine, I can do that. And then obviously the second prompt was brutal to me, and that was 2 books for 1 prompt, and it was library. Of course it was library. Why wouldn't it be library? The only prompt that I've like never got before. I might, you know what? I might just make a whole vlog out of it and actually go into my library one weekend and just like borrow some books like there and then and read those, because those 2 aren't really calling my name, not gonna lie. So we're gonna go for this prompt for pull number 4. 2024 TBR. So I say 2024 TBR. This, I knew it. The game was being too good to me for the last couple of months. 2024 TBR. Okay, let's just see what's left on my 2024 TBR, because I do feel like if these books are left on my TBR at the end of the year, I will unhaul them, because if I'm not going to read them now, there's no way I'm going to read them. So we've got Careless, no. Real Easy, potentially. Friends and Strangers, potentially. Mistakes Were Made, not really. If You Still Recognise Me, Not really. I think out of all of them, I should probably go for Real Easy, because that is a thriller kind of like strip club book. And if I can't read it this time round, then I'm unhauling it, because I've tried to read it twice before. Or Friends and Strangers. But I feel like Friends and Strangers is more like it's contemporary, and I can read that any time of year, whereas if I don't read Real Easy in the next couple of months, I really just don't think I'm ever going to read it. So another book I wasn't expecting to put on my TBR this month is The Real Easy by Marie Szyskowski. I haven't heard anyone talk about this book. I got this book way back, almost 2 years ago now, when I did the Bird Box book club advent calendar thing. I can't remember it. I thought it was such a cool idea, but when I actually got the books that I picked out from the advent calendar, realised that they weren't really books that I would gravitate towards ever, hence why 3 out of the 4 of them are still on my physical TBR. But I'm going to change that, hopefully. But like I said, this book basically follows our main character Samantha, who has danced at the Lovely Lady strip club for years. She's not used to taking people under her wing, her life is complicated enough. But when a new dancer needs a ride home, she overrides her better judgment. Their car is run off the road, and when the police arrive at the scene, they only find one body. So yeah, interesting synopsis. I feel like it's going to be more of like a literary kind of like heavy thriller, or more so than like a fast-paced thriller, but this one's also going on my TBR. Oh my god, this is not the TBR I was expecting, but hey, we're on to spin number 5. I just want it. Give me all your worst. Give me your worst. Spin a wheel. 2 books for the same prompt. I asked for it. I asked for it. Let's fucking go. Let's just add all the books that I don't want onto my TBR this month. Why the hell not? Let's just get a nicer prompt this time, seeing as I have to add another 2 books. Let's just go for this one and hope for the best. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. Oh god, I'm scared. Treat yourself? Are you kidding me? Treat yourself. Okay, that couldn't have been any better. That technically usually means buying a new book, but I'm not trying to buy many new books at the minute, so I think it's just going to mean treat myself. Treat myself. I'm going to have another 2 free picks, which I'm not complaining about, and at this point it's my game, my rules, so 2 more free picks. These are the times where I don't know what I want to read. But I recently rewatched one of my old vlogs, because yes, weirdly enough, I do like watching my old vlogs and like seeing the excitement of some of the books that I've read this year and stuff. And I was reading this book, Cleopatra and Frankenstein, and I was loving it. And I was annotating it and writing in it and tabbing it up. But then I just knew, because of my reading slump back then, I wasn't getting the most out of this book than I would if I was into really reading. I'm going to put this book back on my TBR as one of my like treat yourself picks. This is a literary fiction book for sure, about 2 characters, one called Cleopatra and one called Frankenstein, but Cleo and Frank for short. And Cleo is basically is 24, she's at a different party every night, and a student visa which is running out. Frank is a lot older, 20 years older to be exact, and gives her the security she craves and the green card she needs, to then have like an age gap sort of like romance. What began as a chance meeting will change all their lives forever. So I know I'm going to love this one because I loved the writing when I started reading it, but I just need to kind of like go back into it from the beginning and just enjoy it for what it actually is when I'm not in a slump. So that is the first book that I'm going to pick, and now I feel like I need to pick like a nice easy book that I'm going to be able to fly through, because my TBR is getting chunky. So I might go for another, you know what I'm going to do as a free pick? I'm going to go for this one. This is the second book in the X Hex, and oh my god, that text, how big it is, oh, that makes my heart happy, just knowing that it'll probably be a really quick, easy read. I'm not going to read the blurb because obviously I haven't even read the first book yet, but yeah, let's go for this one. Because why the hell not? Let's see what the last spin, just because we've had loads of like double prompts this month, which is a first. It feels like I've had way too many books, but I don't. We'll do a recap afterwards because this video has been chaotic. So last spin, hopefully the last spin. If it gives me add another spin, I'm not gonna be very happy. This isn't in focus. Now it is, okay. Just in time. Standard. Okay, this is going to be the last prompt. The last book, the last prompt. Let's make it a good one. Okay. Let's make it a good one. I was just seeing what was left on my September TBR that I could potentially pull over, but none of them really. Let's go for this one. I'm actually scared. I think it says BookTube something. Yeah, popular on BookTube. Popular on BookTube. As the last prompt. Okay. Quite a lot's popular on BookTube, to be fair, but not many books that I own. What I might put on, this is very chunky again. I could potentially put Daydream on by Hannah Grace. And then if there's anything on my Kindle that I might want to read that's popular on BookTube, The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, Mile High by Liz Tomford. I think that's kind of it though, in terms of like what I'm really feeling like at the minute. Yeah, okay. I'm going to put Daydream on my TBR because I'm trying to be nice to myself. So that is the last book on my TBR. I'm most excited for this book. I absolutely loved Icebreaker, which is the first book in the Maple Hills series. Gave it 5 stars. Enjoyed Wildfire, but not as much. Gave it 4. Really, really excited to get this one. This is Henry's book, and his love interest is a bookworm. She is the one he's been dreaming of. As a chronic procrastinator, Henry Turner always knew his junior year in college wasn't going to be easy. That was before he made ice hockey team captain, as well as landing himself a difficult class with his least favourite professor. Thankfully, it's then when Henry meets Hallie, a fellow junior who he immediately befriends. Academic pressure has never been a struggle for Hallie, but as an introverted people pleaser with a tendency to overcommit herself, she can't help but offer to help Henry to pass his class. In turn, he offers to help make her college life a little more inspiring, just the thing she needs as an aspiring novelist. Failure is an option for either of them, and that doesn't mean there isn't room for a little distraction. And I absolutely love the smart that Hannah Grace writes, so I should be in for a good time, and it's also on my Kindle, so if I just need like a quick read before bed, this would be like the perfect option. So, with the chaos out of the way, let's recap on every single book that's on my TBR this month, because I think it's about 8, which is always joyous. So, the first prompt was Person on the Cover, which we picked the X by Erin Sterling on my Kindle for. And then the second one did us dirty, and we got a library book, but 2 for 1 prompt. So I picked Carrie Soto's Back by Ted Jenkins Reid and The Last Housewife by Ashley Winstead, I think. We'll see if I kind of like switch those 2 up and do like a whole vlog dedicated to going to the library and picking out books there and then and reading them. We'll see, or whether I just can't bothered and not complete my TBR this month. Hey, that's always an option. Next one we got was a free pick, so I picked Next to You by Hannah Bowen Young because I needed a little bit of a break from the chaos that it caused me. And then we got 2024 TBR, so I picked Real Easy by Marie Szuskowski. And then we got another 2 books for 1 prompt, and that was Treat Yourself, and I kind of changed it to Treat Myself and gave myself a little bit of an easier time and picked 2 books that I kind of wanted to read sooner rather than later. So we picked Cleopatra and Frankenstein by Coco Mellors, and the book has made it onto my TBR as well, with the 2 Treat Yourself moments. And then the last book was popular on BookTube, so I picked Daydream by Hannah Grace. So that's 5 of my physical TBR, plus another 3 from the library/Kindle. Yeah, I said I wanted it to be dirty to me and play dirty, but not that much. But hey, that's my October TBR. If you enjoyed the absolute chaos of this video, make sure you like this video, subscribe down below to see future content from me. I do anything from weekly reading vlogs, monthly TBRs, and any other book content that you can think of that I usually have it on this channel, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any. And I am currently uploading my Walt Disney World vlog series as well, so stay tuned for those. Without further ado, I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.